President has joined. Dr. Lavanya, if you are able to hear me.
Hello, Shravi. Good evening. Thank you.
Good evening, President.
Hello,
So, shall we start?
Please proceed, Shravi.
All right. Very good evening once again. I hand it over to the moderators of the day, Rotractor Shushma and Rotractor Srinidhi.
Thank you, sir. Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life because you become what you believe in. A very good evening and a warm welcome to one and all present here for today's session. Myself, Rotractor Srinidhi, your host for today's wonderful session. Words make you think a thought. Music makes you feel a feeling. A song makes you feel a thought. Now let's start the session with an invocation song by Mr. Anurag and Miss Antara.
Good evening, everyone. Jai Shri Ganesha Vignanasha Gajanana. Jai Shri Ganesha Vignanasha Gajanana. Vidya Buddhi Sarva Siddhi Suranjana. Vidya Buddhi Sarva Siddhi Suranjana. Jai Shri Ganesha Vignanasha Gajanana. Jai Shri Ganesha Vignanasha Gajanana. Jaya Hiramba Shri Jagadamba Nandana. Jaya Hiramba Shri Jagadamba Nandana. Ekadantadayavanta Shubhanana. Ekadantadayavanta Shubhanana. Mangaladayaka Shri Vinayaka Vandana. Mangaladayaka Shri Vinayaka Vandana. Jai Shri Ganesha Vignanasha Gajanana. Jai Shri Ganesha Vignanasha Gajanana. Thank you. Thank you.
That's very sweet and nice of you both. Thank you, Mr. Anurag and Miss Antara, for the devotional song. Now I request International Service Director, Rotrack Path from the Rotrack Club of Chandra Layout to administer the Rotary 4-way test.
Hello. Yeah. Now we would be sharing the 4-way test, which is of the things which we think, say, or do. The first one is the truth. The second is the fair to all concerned. Third, will it build goodwill and better friendship? And the last, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you, Rotractor Path. We will promise to follow it in our daily lives as well. Moving forward, I request our Community Service Director, Rotractor Sushma Suresh, to address the gathering and welcome them.
Thank you, Rotractor Srinidhi. A very good evening to one and all present here. I, Rotractor Sushma Suresh, take the honor of welcoming you all to this session on Swarnaprashan. Firstly, I welcome the President of Rotary Club of Swarna Bengaluru, Rotractor Lavanya. Welcome, President, Madam. A hearty welcome to our club mentor, past President Rotractor Srinidhi, sir. Welcome, sir. I now welcome the distinguished speaker of the day, Dr. Megha, ma'am. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. I also welcome the past presidents of Rotary Club of Swarna Bengaluru, past President Rotractor Krishna Arjun, sir, and past President Rotractor Apurva. A warm welcome to you. And a hearty welcome to all the board of directors and members of the club. I now extend my warm welcome to the presidents and members of all the collaborating clubs. I welcome President Rotractor Tilakshana and members of Rotary Club of Jaffna Peninsula. I welcome President Rotractor Mansingh and members of Rotary Club of Kathmandu Midtown. I welcome President Rotractor Sangam and members of Rotaract Club of Pine City. I welcome President Rotaractor Kiran and members of Rotaract Club of Bishop Cotton Women's Christian College. I welcome President Rotaractor Pushpak and members of Rotaract Club of Bangalore Chandra Layout. I welcome President Rotaractor Narendran and members of MES Rotaract Club. And I extend my hearty welcome to all the Rotaractors and members present in the session. All the best and thank you.
Thank you, Rotaractor Sushma. I now call upon Club Editor, Rotaractor Navya Shri, to introduce our speaker of today's session.
I don't find Navya here, so let me take it up.
Okay, sir.
So, very good evening to one and all present here. It's indeed an honor for me to introduce my sister, in fact. So, today we are here to listen to a very important topic on Swarnaprashan, an ancient method of inducing the medicinal qualities of gold. So, here we have Dr. Megha KS, who is an accomplished Ayurvedic doctor, a loving mother, and an excellent homemaker, one who dreams of bringing Ayurveda to the masses, irrespective of their economic status. Dr. Megha has traveled a lot owing to her transferable nature of her father's job. She completed her medicine studies from SDM College Ujjire and BAMS from A.L.N. Rao Memorial Ayurvedic College, Koppa, standing first through her entire college life. She interned in various allopathic and Ayurvedic hospitals. Dr. Megha obtained a deeper knowledge on Keralian Ayurveda under the guidance of Guru Dr. Vijit Shashidhar and has specialized in gynecology. She runs her own therapy center called Shushti Ayurvedalaya. She also conducts online Ayurveda courses and is a yoga tutor. Her journey with Innerwheel Club began as a charter member of Innerwheel Club Bangalore HBR and has served in various posts in the club, currently being the president of the club. She loves reading and her favorite author is S.L. Bhairappa. So, warm welcome to you and thank you for accepting our invitation to be the guest of today.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, past president. Gold is a treasure, and he who possesses it does all he wishes to in this world and succeeds in helping souls into paradise. It's an immense pleasure to call our speaker, Dr. Megha ma'am, to tell us about Swarnaprashan.
Thank you, Rotarian Srinidhi. Thank you all for inviting me to be the guest speaker of the day on the topic of Swarnaprashan. Thank you, Rotarian Srinidhi, for the wonderful introduction. Thanks a lot. So let's dive into the topic directly. So as you all know, I think many of you already have heard about Swarnaprashan, and many of you already might have been giving this to your children also in the nearby Ayurvedic center. The Swarnaprashan can be said as an Ayurvedic vaccination kind of thing, because this is given to the children specifically to develop the immunity, so that they won't get this common cold and cough very easily, as it is very commonly seen in the children in the early years. So let me just share my screen. Is this visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
you. Yes.
Yeah. So Swarnaprashan. So what exactly is Swarnaprashan, and why do we need to give? This is very, right now it is kind of trending, especially in the Karnataka and now in the northern parts of India also. So most of the parents, especially with the COVID pandemic, are very eager to give this Swarnaprashana to their children. So what exactly is Swarnaprashana and why it is useful, how it is useful to the children, and also many parents might have their own questions and little hindrance regarding how to give this, why is it really useful to this. So let's see, I'll try to explain as much as possible in the session today. If you have any questions, we can discuss it at the end. So what exactly is Swarnaprashana? So Swarnaprashana can be divided into two words, Swarna and Prashana. Swarna is nothing but gold and Prashana is giving giving, or in Anna Prashana it is Anna giving, food giving. So similarly, Prashana is to something to give. So in the ancient times, our ancestors had they had practiced few of the rituals so that the Ayurveda can be integrated to our day-to-day life. So if you bring those things as a ritual, people will definitely follow it. So that is one thing, and that is how the Swarnaprashana was also brought as a ritual in our day-to-day life. So these series of rituals are called as samskaras. You might have heard there are, according to the ancient text, there are 16 samskaras which a person or a child has to undergo right from his or her birth to the until his life. So that Shodasha Samskara, I don't know how many of you have heard it. Upanayana is one of the Samskara. Naming ceremony is one of the Samskara. Marriage is one of the Samskara. So education, childbirth, sannyasa, grahastha, all of these can be considered as one of the Samskaras. So there are 16 Samskaras, and Swarnaprashana is one of the 16 Samskaras mentioned according to the ancient text of pediatrics. So this Swarnaprashana is usually given for the lasting health and intellectual, and also to build the immunity of the child. So like I said, Swarnaprashana is giving the gold particles, administration of gold particles in the child. Okay. So even in the classical texts of Ayurveda, like Sushruta Samhita or Acharya Kashyapa is known as the primary pediatrician of Ayurvedic science. So Acharya Kashyapa in his Kashyapa Samhita has coined the term as Swarnaprashana for the administration of gold. So where he explains that a unique formula wherein the water, honey and ghee has to be ghee on a clean stone facing eastern direction is given to the shishu or an infant to lick the same. So here I would like to say that we have in practically also we do see this in our day-to-day life. I don't know if you have observed it in the Namakarana ceremony, at least in Karnataka, at least in the Namakarana ceremony, we have a very ritual wherein ring, finger ring of either the father or the mother is taken, and it is kind of 1 or 2 times it is done on a sandalwood plate along with ghee, and then it is given to the infant on its tongue. So this, though right now it is just a ritual, but it is the ritual which indicates Swarnaprashana. Many of them may not know that this is the exact Swarnaprashana what is indicated in the classes, but they do it just as a ritual during the naming ceremony. But it is not just as a ritual part of it, just 1 to 2 you will do it and give it. And also ring cannot be used to give it to the children also, because it is not done, it's not purified exactly. So, but that is just here as a ritual, but the exact procedure of Swarnaprashana, wherein the ghee, the Swarna or the gold has to be purified and then given to the shishu or the infant. So in Acharya Kashyapa and other classic gurus or acharyas have explained Swarnaprashana in two methods. One in Lehana, that is Lehana is administration of various herbal drugs and ghee preparations along with the gold as a supplementary feed. in the infant up to 1 year, the lehana is advised actually. So as a supplementary feed, along with the food that we give to the child, this along with the ghee preparation, a little bit of gold is mixed and given continuously. This is one of the procedures that is explained in the class. The other procedure is Jata Karma Samskara. That is, as soon as the child is born, Acharya Sushrita says that Swarna Basma along with honey and ghee, just honey and ghee, only 2 things, has to be mixed and given as soon as the birth of the child as a single dose. This is as a form of a procedure of a newborn care. Okay, so Jata Karma is nothing but the newborn care samskara or the procedure that we do, which includes cutting of the umbilical cord. So as soon as the umbilical cord of the child is cut, immediately this 1 dose of Swarna along with honey and ghee has to be administered to the child as a single dose. So this, what happens is, it brings the immunity, the necessary immunity and the other health benefits to the child. So there are 2 types, one either year-long procedure you can follow or the Jata Samskara. And definitely Jata Karma Samskara is no longer practically not possible right now. But Lepana, that is why we have administered and we have started doing Swarnaprashan as a vaccination method or a Lehana method, which can go up to 16 years. So what exactly goes into this Swarnaprashan? So every doctor has their own way of preparing the Swarnaprashan medicine. So some prepare ghee preparation out of many herbal medicines like Vacha, Shankapushpi, Brahmi, Guduchi, Yashtimadu, Ashwagandha, etc. So out of this Ashwagandha, you might have heard, right, many a times, especially in the current COVID time. Yashtimadu is a licorice root, or in Kannada it is called as Jeshtmadu. Guduchi in Kannada is Amritaballi, again a very common herb nowadays. And Brahmi is again a very common due to its uses in the increasing memory and concentration. Shankapushpi, in Kannada also it is called as the same, Shankapushpi, and Vacha is Baje in Kannada. I think in Malayalam it is Vayambo or something. So all these medicines, or sometimes doctors may use 1 or 2 here and there extra or a little less than this. So majorly these are the herbs that is used to prepare a ghee. So all these medicines are powdered, and then it is made into a kashaya form, and that kashaya is boiled along with the pure cow's ghee until it attains a certain stage, and then it is filtered and kept it as a ghee. Once this herbal ghee preparation is prepared, then Swarna Bhasma. It is not the plain Swarna or the gold that can be taken and mixed with. It won't mix. The plain Swarna gold won't mix with any honey. Swarna also has to undergo a series of procedures. First of all, the Swarna has to, the gold has to undergo a purification method, wherein it is dipped in 7 kinds of liquid 7 times in each liquid. Okay, that is the procedure for the purification of Swarna, and once Swarna is purified, then it is made into a Bhasma or ash. And that ash in a very minute form is triturated, or it is mixed with the ghee continuously until it mixes with the ghee. And this few doctors administer ghee with the gold and honey separately. Some of them mix ghee and honey together and administer as a single dosage. Some of the doctors, what they practice is all these medicines which I have told right now, Vacha, Pushpa, they all mix it into a powder form. So that powder form, along with the Swarna Bhasma, they mix it and give it as a powder form along with the honey. That is also another form of Swarnaprashan. And another form of Swarnaprashan is this Vacha or Vacha stick, Baje. sticks are available in the market. So what they will do is they'll make a stick out of Swarna or gold and they insert the stick inside the Vata stick. So when you do it, when you use this in the sandalwood store, so you will get Vaja along with the gold. So that you have to mix it with the honey and take it. So there are 3 to 4 types of administration of Swarnaprashan, but the major ingredients are all these, and the uses and the effective is all the same. You can give it in either in the ghee form or powder form. The effective is the same. So these are all the commonly used ingredients. Now coming to the duration, how long this should be given. So daily dose of Swarnaprashan should be given minimum for 1 month to maximum of 3 to 6 months, or monthly one for a minimum of 30 months to a maximum of 90 months on a day of Pushya Nakshatra. So what age can this be given? This can be given right from the birth, like we have seen earlier. Jata Karma, as soon as the child is born itself, the Swarnaprashan can be given. So right from the birth until the age of 15 years, this Swarnaprashan can be given. So here again, different doctors advise different kind of Swarnaprashan here again. So daily dose of Swarnaprashan can also be given. Some doctors suggest, especially in the conditions like if a child has a Down syndrome or some problems wherein autistic children, etc. Such if a problem, if there is a problem with the children, then the doctors may suggest you to take a daily dose of Swarnaprashan, or in the infant stage, doctor may suggest you to give a daily dosage of Swarnaprashan for 3 to 6 months, then give a gap of again 3 months, and then start another course of Swarnaprashan for another 6 months. So that is how few doctors advise you. Or if you can bring them once a month for at least 2 to 3 years regularly and give them Pushya or exactly on the Pushya Nakshatra, that will also work. So either of it is fine, but you have to decide which is better by consulting your nearby Ayurveda doctor. So coming to what are the benefits? Why do we need to give this Swarnaprashan? Like I said, this is considered as an Ayurvedic immunization. So what exactly do you mean by immunization or vaccination? So what are the benefits that we can get from the Swarnaprashan? So as I repeatedly said, the immune system of the diseases, the child develops an immunity system against the diseases, increases the physical strength, and therefore it helps in the growth of the baby. Because the ghee has medicines like Shankapushpi and Brahmi and Vata and all that, the grasping power, analysis power, and recall memory become sharper. It also improves digestive power because it has medicines like Yashtimadu and Vata again. So it improves the digestive power also. Again, gold also plays role here. And tones up skin, color, and texture. Again, because of the gold, there is a skin color and texture become toned. Protects the baby from the different kinds of allergies. Again, owing to the better immunity system. And also in Ayurvedic classes, it is said that it gives Ayusha or long life, because as said earlier, immune system develops, so gives a long life. And it is Mangalam, it's auspicious. It's a part of the ritual that is followed. It brings punyam, or it is virtuous. It is drishyam or aphrodisiac. It's varna, increases complexion. I have said this earlier. And then grahapaham, that is eliminates the evil effects of the planet. I don't know if people of today believe this, but there was a time when people used to believe that the children have this graha bade, at least Ayurveda believes in all these things. So there is something called as Graha Bada. You might have heard, if a child is very fussy and is crying non-stop without a reason, it is fed properly, and yet it is crying without a reason, then your grandmothers might tell you that there is some Graha Bhade here, so you have to take a drishti, so that will relieve the fussiness of the baby. So that Graha Bada is also removed by the Swarnaprashan. So these are the major benefits of the Swarnaprashan, but there are other minor benefits, like it kinds of it boosts the overall growth of the child. And there are these are the basic things about the Swarnaprashana that a parent has to know before administering Swarnaprashana to them. And there are few questions that usually that the doctors get from the parent. So I'll just clear a few of the questions here. The first and the foremost question and the most important question is any known side effects. Specifically, with the today's research, when we say that Swarna or gold is being administered with the chemical metal detoxification, etc., which is seen in the papers. So many people or many parents ask me if there is a metal toxification because of the gold basma. The first and foremost thing is, like I said, in the ingredient, we do not administer a direct metal as such. If you administer a direct any kind of metal, there is always a poison, there is always a toxicity. But here what we are doing, we are purifying gold firstly, and secondly it is made into a basma. Basma is nothing but a very minute powdery form, very minute powdery form. So it goes, it is to prepare a basma of Swarna, you have to heat it for a very long period of time. So only then it becomes into a basma period. And until that, it is devoid of all the toxicity, of its toxicity. And the third point here is that the amount of or the dosage of Swarna basma that we are using in each dose is very, very, very minute. Okay, so in a 30 ml of Swarnaprashana bottle, you might have seen the ghee bottle that we have, just around not even less than 1 gram. Okay, somewhere around 0.5 gram of Swarna basma added in 30 ml. And when the 30 ml is given in few drops, when you shake it and give it in a few drops, like 2 drops or 4 drops, the amount of Swarna reaching the child is extremely minute. So there is no known side effects noted so far because of the Swarnaprashana. The next question you can also ask is, if the Swarna basma is such a minute quantity, will it have its effect? Obviously, if it is so minute in quantity, will there be effects or the benefits from the Swarna basma? Definitely. That is the beauty of our Rasa Shastra or Ayurveda's metal usage. So Ayurveda uses many kind of metals in its medicine, and the main point of why metals are used is because the first thing, it acts faster. Second thing is, even with the minute dose, it has such efficacy to bring about the changes in the disease or in a healthy body. So even though it is extremely minute in dosage, when you're giving it for the longer period, like about 30 months or 60 months, definitely it has its effect. So you can very safely give this to your children. The second question is, what are the other names? Some people may get confused because of many names used across the nation. So Swarnaprashana can also be called as Swarna Amrita Prashana, Swarnaprashan or Swarna Bindu Prashana. So all of these are nothing but Swarnaprashana itself. So any doctor may call it by any other name, but it is the same, and the procedure and the medicine are all, at least 90%, it is all the same in throughout the India. Will Swarna increase the heat in the body? This is the next question, because it has lot of medicines like Vata and other things. So will it increase heat in the body? So usually there is no significant changes in the body temperature in the normal conditions, usually, but but in certain conditions, and it is not very common at least, you can see acute fever can be seen in certain children. If it increases, if the child has fever soon after the Swarnaprashana, 1 to 2 months you can watch. If it is decreasing, that's okay. But if the fever is there even after 6 months of administration of, each time you administer Swarnaprashana and right next day you have the child has the fever, and this goes on about every 6 months or more than 6 months after every Swarna Bhasma administration, then maybe you can stop the Swarnaprashana. Otherwise, if there is no such conditions like fever or nothing is there, then you can always continue the medicine. But what we advise is, it is always better to take a doctor's opinion. Even if a child gets fever, it is always better to get your nearby doctor's opinion about continuing or discontinuing the Swarnaprashan. So, as we all have seen, there is another thing in Ayurveda called as Viruddhahara, that is incompatible food, wherein certain foods are, when mixed together, persons are not supposed to take them because it can create a poison. And one of the incompatible foods is ghee and honey, when mixed together, can become a poison. It is said in Ayurveda as an incompatible food. But here in Swarnaprashana, we are mixing ghee and honey. So is this okay? Won't it turn into a poison? No. See, what happens, Acharyas have said that when equal amount of honey and ghee is mixed, it can be a poisonous. But here the ghee, double the quantity of the ghee, honey has to be given. First thing, it is palatable to the child also, and the second thing, it won't be poisonous. So it won't be an incompatible food according to Ayurveda also. Is Swarnaprashana alone enough for improving health? This all depends on the child, on the food the child takes, on the lifestyle the child is living, the climatic changes, the city where he is living. So it all has an effect on the overall health of a child, definitely. So some kids who have a very good health, just the Swarnaprashana can be enough for improving the overall health and to improve the immunity. But if a child already has some problems like wheezing or some regular allergies, then it is always better to include some medicines along with the Swarnaprashana. And always your doctor would be the best person to advise what medicines to be taken. But generally, Chyawanprash, Indukharsa and Dhruta, ghee are the best immunity building medicines that can be given along with the Swarnaprashana. It all depends from child to child. So it is better to take your doctor's opinion. The next question is it okay to skip a dosage? Thus, always advise not to skip a Swarnaprashana, definitely. We have Pushya Nakshatra day. Each doctor, at least right now with the gadgets and all, will send the parents a message or information saying that the Pushya Nakshatra day is coming. So don't please miss the dosage. So you will have an intimation. So it is always advised not to skip the Swarnaprashana dosage, but due to some circumstances, if you miss it, then it is okay. It is fine. Don't fret over it, but at least as much as possible, try to give the medicine as frequently as possible without skipping a dosage. Only then the medicine will have its full effect. But there are certain conditions wherein even the doctor will suggest you not to give the Swarnaprashana. The one thing is fever, because we have already seen fever as one of the things that can happen because of Swarnaprashana. So if the patient has a fever, then it is okay to skip the dosage. Or if there is any other acute problems and the child is ill, critically ill, then it is okay. You skip a dosage and bring the child in the next month. So why is this recommended only for the kids? Why not adults won't? Why can't adults take them? So usually what happens is the development according to Ayurveda, it can be a physical development or emotional or a spiritual development of the children is from birth to the 16 years. Only after 16 years the yuva avastha or the youth is said to be there. So that is why the age of administration of kids is from 0 to 16 years. So in this formative years, when the growth of the children is happening, it is better to administer this on a daily basis, so that after the youth, after child attains the youth, then you need not administer, because usually the youth will have a proper health if in the childhood the child is properly taken care of. So the early years is always the is the important part of a children's life. So those early years, if you take care of their health by proper administration of Swarnaprashan, by properly keeping them healthy, then their youth and their adult life will be much easier. So that is why it is only recommended for the kids. And for as far as the adults, we have other medicines to improve their immunity that they can always take. Can pregnant ladies take this? So pregnant ladies are usually also advised. I personally took them the Swarnaprashan when I was pregnant with my son. So it is always at least from the month of seventh month to 7th, 8th, 9th month, you can always take Swarnaprashan. But again, you have to consult your doctor, because there are some medicines which can have some effects on the pregnant lady. So always consult your doctor and consult them and ask them which Ayurvedic herbal has to be used in the Swarnaprashan along with the gold bhasma, and only then take. But it is always very, it is useful, and it is definitely pregnant ladies can also take them from the 7th month onwards, this 3rd trimester. When like kids face any problem like fever or loose motion, like we face with some allopathy vaccinations, like allopathy vaccinations, soon after the injections, the child will have some fever, etc. Usually, with the Ayurvedic vaccinations, that is Swarnaprashan, no such complaints are observed. If the child gets a fever, then it is not because of the Swarnaprashan, or if it is because of the Swarnaprashan, it is always better to consult the doctor. It is not a good thing, at least. So these are the questions that I got, and as far as my knowledge, I have tried to answer all of them. If you still have any other questions, please let me know. I'll try to answer them as far as possible. And I think I have covered everything under the topic of Swarnaprashan. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on this platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Madam. I now call upon our past president, Rotractor Srinidhi SU sir, to take up the question and answer session.
Thank you so much. So before I could proceed, I wish to place my pranams to Guru who has joined us, Professor Dr. B.D. Patel sir. Namaste sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Homeopathic doctor having more than 40 years of experience, retired principal of Government Homeopathy College, Bengaluru. And he is also the counselor of Peace and Conflict Resolution Committee in the Rotary District 3190. So it's indeed a pleasure to have him attend this event of ours. So once again, thanks to the speaker for giving us a very detailed explanation. In fact, I missed jotting down a few points because there was too much of information which was pouring in. Now, what I do understand from the audience who have attended, who are attending today's session is we have audience from Sri Lanka, Nepal, Philippines, and other parts of India, where Ayurveda or Swarnaprashan might not be a familiar topic to them. And that's the complete agenda or the objective of today's event. In fact, the Vedtatva project itself is to introduce the science of Ayurveda and the ancient Indian medicines throughout the world. And whatever we have done today is an attempt, not an overburden of information, but an attempt to introduce you to the ancient culture and also the ancient treasury of medicines which we have in India. So before we could go to question, I guess it would be right for us to take a comment or two from Dr. B.D. Patel, sir. If sir is able to address us for a minute, and then I guess we can go forward with a question. Participants are requested to make use of the chat box to type in your questions. If you want to discuss something or to express something, you can feel free to.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Srinidhi. You are also a doctor now. I was trying to log in from my mobile because there is some problem in the camera of my laptop. Anyhow, I couldn't do, but anyhow, I wanted to listen to this. Dr. Meghaji, a wonderful description of Swarnaprash, because many people have wrong understanding about this. Nothing happens. The Swarnaprash, what is given in Ayurveda, is very, 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 very minute dose. Am I right, Dr. Megha?
Yes, yes, exactly. Very minute.
Very, very minute, and which is very close to homeopathy also. Because in homeopathy, we don't give medicine at all, we give only power. And this has a lot of effects on the human body. That is the reason why in our olden days, males and females were wearing a lot of gold on the body. And many people, when they go, this, I don't know how many of you know, you may not know, many people while going to bath, they remove this, keep it aside and then take bath. That should not be done. The water should fall on the gold ornaments and then fall on your body. That itself is Swarnaprashan. Because a minutest drop of gold will be removed and put it on the body. That gives a lot of vitality, gives immunity, gives manship, gives womanship. You can understand, you're all grown-up people. It is a lot of, and then it gives you mental power. Many people do not understand. Gold and silver have a lot of valuable medical values in the body. That's the reason you see in the olden days, they used to serve people in silver plates. Not as a matter of respect, it is a health point. You can't serve in the gold plate because it will be very costly, or it should be an Arab sheikh. So these noble metals have a lot of medical qualities, medical benefits, which should be used rationally with knowledge. Don't keep on eating Swarna Bhasma, you will have other problems. Okay. It can increase your BP, it can affect your heart. But if it is used under the guidance of an expert, it will definitely have a lot of positive things. And all the people, those who are practicing Ayurveda, those who are not practicing Ayurveda also should consult experts like Dr. Megha, who can give in the proper dose that is needed for the person. Thank you, Dr. Srinidhi, for giving me opportunity to speak something.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presence, and we are really honored that we have you attend today's event and also address us. Thank you so much. So moving ahead with one of the questions probably which I came across when I was listening to your session. Meanwhile, I once again welcome the participants. Please drop in your questions in the chat box and make yourself comfortable to ask questions, because through questions and discussions, we could learn a lot. So you were mentioning that the Lehana method of Swarnaprashan, where we mix the Swarna Pasma, which is purified, and later it is mixed with ghee and honey. So you also said it may be made into powders. So is it something which people consume as a drink, or is it made to be licked onto the tongue of the children?
It's like licked. So like the word lehana itself in Sanskrit means to lick. So powder, then you mix it with the honey. It's a very small quantity of powder itself. And again, when it is mixed with the honey, it becomes a paste form. You just take a little bit of it and put it on the infant's tongue, and the tongue will, the child will swallow it. So it is a licking procedure.
You also mentioned that this can be like this Swarnaprashan can be marketed, like it's, or is it actually being marketed? I don't know whether I misheard it. Are people selling it in the market for a particular price as a brand or something?
They are. Few of the brands are marketing the Swarna kit, Swarnaprashan kit, as a 1 bottle of ghee and 1 bottle of honey are being given. But before you purchase it, it is always better to consult a doctor on the method of administration. Definitely, what is the dosage? Because dosage varies on the age of the child. As the child grows, the dosage of the medicine also varies. So it is always better to consult the doctor beforehand. And I think, see, the one kit, because it contains gold, it is little expensive. The one kit in itself may cost around, it differs on pharmacy to pharmacy, but I think minimum of 3,000 to maximum of 5,500. So I think it is more rather economical to bring your child to the doctor, because each month it is 100 rupees per dosage for a child. Some clinics may say 150 rupees, maximum 150, not more than that, 100 to 150 rupees. So that is more economical, more practical for the parent, because the doctor will get to consult the child, will check their height, weight, the overall health, and then administer Swarnaprashan. So once a month, it is a free consultation with the doctor for 100 rupees, along with the dosage of Swarnaprashan. So it is always, I think it is much better, much practical and economical way if you get the child to the doctor rather than administering it on your own. But again, if in, at least in the foreign countries where the doctors, Ayurvedic doctors are not there who are administering Swarnaprashan, you can always buy the kit and take it with you, and upon instructions from doctor, you can give it at home also. That is also there.
Well, that was actually my actual question, whether it is good to purchase a marketed brand of Swarnaprashan and to give it to the children. You have answered both of it at the same time. Thanks for that. So meanwhile, I'm still waiting for some questions in the chat box. So to keep the audience, okay, there is one question by past President Krishnarjan. I'm unmuting you. Yes, Krishnarjan.
Thank you, Srinidhi. So I've had something very interesting to share. So I think now Swarna Bengaluru and Swarnaprashan will go hand in hand. Any club member, any rotractor who has heard this term might recollect, and probably if any kid requires it, they would advise the parents, their families and friends. So my observation was around adults being administered gold in the food format. So I had observed this in Malleshwaram, where a few years back there was a restaurant near Margosa Road where it came up with its USP, which was a golden masala dosa. So they had 0.1 grams of gold being included as part of the dosa, and they were selling the dosa at 1,011 rupees to be precise. And it was a good, it was not like they were expecting every day to sell hundreds of dosas. Monthly, 1 or 2 they were planning to sell, but they managed to sell around 32 to 40 dosas every month. It was nice to see even adults. It was more of a prestige standpoint here. Someone had ordering this dosa once in a lifetime, but even adults consuming gold in the form of food has been observed. So it might be the price standpoint, but it's not seen on a regular basis. So for adults, how good is it to be consumed as part of your diet? Not on a regular basis, but yeah, how much does it have as a medicinal value?
Gold, thank you for the question, Krishnarjan. And as Dr. B.D. Patel was explaining earlier that, earlier the food was served in either the gold plate or the silver plate. And so the food mixing with the gold can be consumed by the adults also. But the thing is, the Swarna Bhasma has immense medicinal properties. Swarna Bhasma can itself be included along with many medicines for various conditions. Okay, but for either heart diseases or immunity or many such things, Swarna Bhasma can be used as a medicine. But Swarna Bhasma is only a medicine and not a food. It's not an ahara. It's an aushadha. So before you involve or mix Swarna with the food, I think it is not advisable. Once in a while is fine, but still I don't know what kind of gold they will be using with the dosa. Is it purified, unpurified? What is the quantity? I don't know. Is it really worth you having such a kind of dosa when we don't know the quality of the gold? So it is always better to use the gold which is purified, which is properly formulated as a medicine and for a particular disease only. Only when the doctor advises you or prescribes you a gold medicine. You can see for the joint pain, when the joint pain is extreme, unbearable, usually the doctors prescribe gold medicines because it has a quick action in reducing the pain of the joint. So gold can be used as a medicine, but only as a medicine and not as a food. That is my opinion. I don't think including gold as a part of the food should be advised. And it is not practical also, definitely. And I don't think it should be advised.
Thank you, Andy. That clarifies a lot of things. And yeah, they were also, they had seen gold being used in pan as oils to cover it up. So similarly, they've used an Ayurvedic approach to integrating this into the dosas, and it was doing well. But yeah, definitely I agree with you. It should be used as a medicine and not as a food, and it's not an affordable food as well.
Yes. See, Ayurvedic, part of it has been, right now at least, it's very commercializing. Take this turmeric milk or golden milk, so-called, especially in these COVID times, pandemic times, even the government advises to take golden milk or turmeric milk every day, right? But Ayurveda is a science wherein Ayurveda firmly believes that each and every individual is different. Okay, one medicine won't suit everybody. So you cannot say that the golden or turmeric milk is universally a medicine for everybody and anybody can take it just to improve their immunity. No, that is not the thing. So before you have anything, just consult your doctor. Okay. So similarly, it goes with the Chyawanprash also. Just by the Dabur commercialization, Dabur has also a gold Swarna Chyawanprashan also. Right. So just by the advertisement, just seeing the or seeing that the other people are using, you can buy it and have it. No, it does not go well. So always please consult your doctor before using any medicine. So there's a very common myth in the society saying that Ayurveda doesn't have any side effects. That is completely not true. If there's a saying in Kannada, Atiyadare Amrutavu Visha. So if not properly administered, even Amrita, even nectar can become a poison. So even it is a very...
Dr. Srinidhi?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, as Dr. Megha is rightly talking, I think I'm really so happy to listen to this young doctor. See, anything, medicine is medicine. And especially metals, you should not play with them. Even Swarna Bhasma, you have Loha Bhasma, you have Abraka Bhasma, so many Bhasmas are there. But they should all be used only under medical advice. And she has rightly said, Haldi for everyone. Haldi for everyone is very bad. Many people are there who take 1 spoon of haldi powder in the milk and they will have liver damage. and these metals are more harmful to liver and kidney. You should be very careful. And as she writes, any medicine for that reason, you should take. Self-medication is bad. You should take under the guidance of a doctor. This is one. And then, as she rightly said, there is a good shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Yukta hara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya rogo bhavati dukkha. That means anything should be taken in limit, not more, not less. Exercise, food, sleep. So also the medicines. And medicines, let us be more careful that let us take under the guidance of an expert. Am I right, Dr. Megha?
Yes, exactly.
You are happy?
Yes, yes. Thank you for your input, Doctor.
Yes, so nice, so nice, so nice. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So that actually brings me to my next question. So we are aware that Ayurvedic medicines is not generalistic, but it has to be given based on an individual person's adjustments to the medicine, and there is a requirement of a lot of practice for this. So there are few of my friends who are here who are studying Ayurveda. So how long do you think they have to practice in order to be able to give the proper dosage of Swarnaprashan to the students? And how should they practice? Under whom?
See, I mean, Ayurvedic students will definitely have their internship under better professors and better doctors. They'll learn there. First thing. Second thing, I think even in final year, they're taught about how to, how to assess a patient. Even in the first year itself, students are taught how to assess a patient based on their prakriti. The first and foremost assessment is prakriti. So, and their agni, their digestive capacity. So, depending on all that, it becomes easier. I think experience, each patient is different. There is no certain amount of years. If you just practice, like just 2 years you practice, and then third year you'll become an expert. No, there is nothing like that. So it all goes with experience, each patient. And then Ayurveda is such a big ocean. Even if you're 30 years experienced doctor in an practicing, but still there are certain things that you will have to learn from the text. So Nirantara Adhyaya and Swadhyaya, that is the main thing here. And then again practicing each patient properly with patients. If you will consult them, take their history properly. So that is why an Ayurvedic, and also I think in homeopathy also the consultation is not just 5 minutes. It goes on for about half an hour to 45 minutes, because it takes for us that long to understand a patient, their lifestyle, their food habits and everything. So only after assessing properly, then it comes naturally for the student to decide on the dosage. I don't think there is any specific amount of period wherein one should learn. Learning is continuous.
Thank you, Akka. So one last question from my side. So I'll just wait for another 2 or 3 seconds to check if there are any questions in the chat box, or if anyone wants to raise their hand and ask any questions or want to discuss something. So before we could proceed to the last question which I came across. So there was a very interesting point which you made in your presentation. Okay. So Dr. B.D. Patel sir wants to leave. So sir, thank you so much for making your time available for us and being here. So namaste once again, and thank you.
It was my pleasure. For everybody, Shubharatri.
Shubharatri,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Doctor, for joining us.
So very interesting point which you made during your presentation was that the Swarnaprashan has to be done monthly once during the Pushya Nakshatra. So for our friends who are here, nakshatra, based on nakshatra, also the Hindu astrology or the calendar is governed. There are 27 nakshatras which we usually follow, and Pushya nakshatra is one particular day in a month. And I want to understand, why is it particularly to be given on Pushya nakshatra or the day of Pushya nakshatra?
It is said in the classics that when the Pushya Nakshatra, on the day of Pushya Nakshatra, if the medicine is administered, it has an increased efficacy. That is the reason. It has been said in the classics that it has to be administered on the Pushya Nakshatra. It has an increased efficacy. So that is why it has been followed like that. But I think right now it is just for the practical uses. It is given one day, I think so. And also, even not only for Swarnaprashan, for many other things, Pushya Nakshatra is said to be one of the very auspicious, even for collecting the herbal leaves or medicines, raw herbs from the forest. Pushya Nakshatra is said to be the very auspicious day when the leaf or medicine has its highest efficacy. So only then you are supposed to collect certain medicines from the forest or from the trees. So Pushya Nakshatra definitely has its own influence on the medicine. So that is the reason why it is said to be on the Pushya Nakshatra day. And I would like to add here that the coming Pushya Nakshatra is on February 15th. So you can always get your children to the nearest Ayurvedic doctor. February 15th is the next Pushya Nakshatra day.
Thank you so much. And thanks for a wonderful, insightful, and very knowledgeable presentation. Every Vedtatva session, in fact, we are going back with an ample amount of lost knowledge, I would say, because this is something which many of us are not able to get in our day-to-day life. Of course, we have so many doctors coming over and speaking to audience in the TV, but we are not sure how much information are they able to provide or misinformation they would be providing. So irrespective of that Vedtatva, and especially thanks to Dr. Megha KS, we have been able to get a lot of information. And thank you once again on behalf of Rotary Club of Swarna Bengaluru for giving a session on Swarnaprashan. So I hand it back to be Dr. Srinidhi.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful information. I now request our dear President, Dr. Lavanya, to present the certificate of gratitude, followed by presidential address.
Thank you, Retractor Dr. Srinidhi. Many thanks to Dr. Megha ma'am for taking your time out from your busy schedule to address us. Indeed, it's been such an informative session. It was insightful, great learning on the importance of ancient health. The procedure, as you said, it's been an ancient rituals that's been followed for the children. It was such an informative and knowing the procedure, the benefits of it. So, well, it's my honor on behalf of all the members of Rotary Club of Swarna Bengaluru. I consider it an honor to present the certificate of gratitude to you, ma'am. So thanks
Thank
for your
you.
valuable presence and informative thoughts, importance shared to this wonderful gathering. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Indeed, our pleasure, ma'am. Well, so about Vedtatva. So it's a unique, indeed, it's a unique project initiated to, to promote, to create the major awareness on general health and to promote the traditional, the ancient medicine system of Indian subcontinent. So with that, I like to thank all the collaborating clubs for your kind cooperation, for being the part of the session. Looking forward for more collaboration further too. I indeed take this opportunity to thank all our members for working and organizing this wonderful session and connecting wide across the district states, well, in fact, the different countries too. I thank past President Nishiji, past President Srinidhi, ISD Retractor Arpita, Secretary Retractor Akshat, Project Chair Retractor Bharat, and all the members, all my dear members of Rotary Club of Swarna Bengaluru for connecting across the clubs to help initiate this wonderful session. And thanks to the Joint Secretary, Community Service Director, Retractor Sushma too, for being so helpful in organizing this session. Well, with heaps and bounds to this digitization, we are glad to have connected wide across the continent of South Asia. So would like to thank all the collaborating clubs. So just a minute. I thank President Rotractor 3 Lakshana and members of Rotary Club of Jaffna Peninsula District, RI District 3220. I thank President Rotractor Mansingh and members of Rotary Club of Kathmandu Midtown, RI District 3292. I thank President Rotractor Sangam, Rotary Club of Pine City, RI District 3240. I thank President Rotractor Kiran and members of Rotary Club of Mission Cotton Women's Christian College, RI District 3190. I thank President Rotractor Pushpek and members of Rotary Club of Chandra Layout District 3190. I thank President Rotractor Narendran and members of Rotary Club of MES Club District 3190. Would like to thank all the members of even Cubao, Philippines, Nepal, Sri Lanka. Many thanks to each one of you all. Would apologize if I've missed any mentions of any other clubs, requesting past presidents to help me out in recognizing. Well,
We will, if
yeah,
in
that's
case we have
pretty much
left out, we
from that.
will surely recognize them in the vote of thanks, President.
Thank you, Srinidhi. Thank you. Over to the moderators. Over to you, Srinidhi. Doctor, who's get to be a doctor?
Thank you,
Srinidhi.
President Ravanya. The stage is now
Thank you
open
all.
for the stage is now open for the impressions from the presidents of the collaborating clubs.
We request our audience, if any one of you wish to unmute yourself and wish to share your thoughts or impressions on today's event, please feel free to.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian Tomakid from the Rotary Club of Uptown Cubao. First, I'd like to say we were not able to partner with this event, even if past President Lishet actually invited us, because of the time difference. Because actually, the start of the schedule is 9:45 p.m. here in Manila. So it's difficult to gather our members. But we decided, our club president and together with me, decided to join so that we would know exactly, because we're interested. It's our first time to hear that gold can be ingested actually. Personally, it's interesting to know that it's actually a medicine. Wow. And also we are here because we are looking forward to partner with your club and the other clubs as well in this coming year. So thank you for having us today.
Well, thank you so much for your presence and also your impressions. And I see that you are a president-elect. So yes, there is a long way to go, and we are really awaiting to have many more collaborations with your club. Thank you, and thanks to your president too for joining. Yes, Srinidhi, we shall proceed.
Okay, sir. As we have reached the end of our session, I request our chairperson of Disease Prevention and Treatment Committee, Protractor Bharat, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Srinidhi. Good evening, everyone. I now present the vote of thanks. I would like to thank the distinguished guest speaker, Dr. Megha, on this wonderful Ayurvedic session. It was really fascinating. Thanks to the Counselor of Peace and Conflict Resolution Committee, Rotary District 3190, Rotarian B.D. Patel sir, for his presence. Many thanks to our club mentor, past President Rotractor Srinidhi, for his support. Thanks to the past presidents of RCSB, past President Rotractor Apurva, past President Rotractor Nishat, past President Rotractor Krishnarjan for joining. Thanks to our Community Service Director, Rotractor Sushma Suresh for leading the team, and Rotractor Srinidhi for hosting the session. Also, thanks to our International Service Director, Director Rotractor Arpita and team for connecting us with various clubs around the world. To the Board of Directors and members of Rotaract Club of Swarna Bengaluru, I thank you all for joining the session. My heartfelt gratitude to all the collaborating clubs, Rotaract Club of Bishop Cotton's Women's Christian College, Rotaract Club Bangalore Chandra Layout, MES Rotaract Club, Rotaract Club of Pine City Shillong, Rotaract Club of Jaffna Peninsula from Sri Lanka, Rotaract Club of Kathmandu Midtown from Nepal. Thanks to Rotaractors from Philippines for joining. And finally, my heartfelt thanks to all the participants for your active participation in the session. Thank you all.
Thank you, Rotractor Bharat. Let's gather for yet another insightful session in the coming days. Until then, take care, stay safe with masks on, and my heartfelt gratitude to one and all present here, and a very good night.
Thank you. Thanks to you, moderator Srinidhi. In fact, I don't get an opportunity to call out my name several times, but today. So thank you for a wonderful moderation. And I really must not forget to thank our dynamic secretary, Rotractor Akshit K. Shetty, for the wonderful leadership which he's been showing in getting things done. Usually we miss out his names in vote of thanks, not sure why, but always and always the event is possible thanks to him. Thank you, Rotractor Akshit. I guess you're still in the meeting. The feedback link has been shared in the chat box. So the feedback link has been shared in the chat box. To avail your certificates, you can fill the feedback link and you would be getting your certificates through mail. And looking forward to collaborate with the clubs across the world. If any of your members or if any of the clubs have not been mentioned here, or if one or two of you have attended from your club, we do look forward to work with you too. So do try to reach out to us. We will put our number in the chat box and you can reach out to us through our contact number. So once again, thank you so much. I must also thank the two little children who sang the invocation song, students of Veda, Antara and Anurag. So thanking all the participants once again and our beloved president. So with the permission of